Hello, Facebook family. It's Laura Hall, and we are live. You are on the Come Cook With Me show. So every Friday, if you're new to my show, I come on Facebook Live, and we do a show that's called Come Cook With Me. If you are following me, you know that every Wednesday we do the show Come Shop With Me. So everything that we work with in our show today, we've already done a cooking Come Shop With Me program. Hey, welcome everybody. So share some love. Let me know that you're hearing me okay. A couple thumbs up, some hearts would be fabulous. Thank you. Welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. So if you shopped with me, you know we are making salsa and guacamole. And yes, if you have followed me since we started, salsa and guacamole was the absolute first show that we ever did. Well, it turned out it was way too long. I actually had several people who sent comments how much they loved hearing the stories, but would have loved to get to having the show and the ingredients a little bit faster. Although I will say that there was quite a controversy because there were several people, and I found out that there are several people who are out there in the military that are actually watching the show deployed, and they love watching it and coming into the kitchen with me and hearing the stories because they feel like they're at home. So we tried to keep a happy medium, but it was time to redo the show. so we are redoing it, and I've done all the prep work, so you're gonna get this recipe so uber, so quick, and so awesome. It's just gonna be yummy. And yes, some people have recognized that we do a lot of Mexican in our family. It is just one of those things that we don't even like to go out to eat Mexican very often because, well, you'll see this recipe, once you make it, it's just out of this world. You will absolutely love it. So if you are new, here's what we do on the show. What you want to do is say hello, where you're from, post it in the comments right now, where you're from, and share this video on your wall. So last week, our cheesecake, we had, I'm trying to think, I wrote it down, but I can't see what I wrote. I think we had almost 8,000 to 9,000 views. We had over 40 shares. That's not the highest. Sometimes we have gone as high as 43,000, 47,000 views. But on average, we average between 8,000 and 10,000 views. I'd really love to get this viewership up. But the other thing is that if you've missed any of my shows and you want to look back and share some of those, you also get added to the overall drawing. So I really encourage you strongly to say hello, where you're from, because when you do, you are entered to win. And I actually didn't take out, I need to take those out. Hang on. My Dano spices, woohoo! So Dano is Dan Oliver, and he is on our team. He's on our health and nutrition team. I have a health and wellness company that I partnered with, and we help people with getting just freedom in their health. So we help with energy, we help with healthy aging, and you should see my before and after. If you're interested, I'll send you a before and after Face Friday picture. But we help with healthy aging and weight loss and sports athletic performance. So Dano is on our team, and he makes these incredible spices. They're called Dano's. Kentucky proud, he's from Kentucky. So a lot of places in Kentucky, if you're following me from Kentucky, you know you can buy these in the store, but a lot of times you can't find these. So, but Dano will actually post in the comments if you want to get these spices. These are phenomenal spices. So in order to win these spices, we do a weekly opportunity to win. All you have to do is say hello and where you're from. And what we do is we put you in a random generator at the end of the week, and when the random generator picks, it doesn't really spin because it's on the computer, but it's like if it was spinning, and it just hits stop, and the person gets selected who won from the last week's show. So it's really that simple. So that's all you have to do in order to win these spices. And these are to die for. If you've won or you use these spices, you totally want to say, make some comments here, because these are unbelievable. So I did the random generator. Let's see who won the spices. Okay, so this was, I think, a first time. And what's so cool about this is that this lady shared from another person's share. So somebody shared it on their wall, and then she picked it up off of another wall and shared it on hers, which was phenomenal. I loved it. I couldn't believe it. So Ida Simpson, if you are watching, you won the spices. So I'm gonna send you a private message, or if you're watching now, go ahead and send me a private message. I need to get your address. So as soon as I have your address, then I will ship these spices to you. So congratulations, so excited for you. Okay, now there's another gift. So if you share this video, what you get a chance to do is earn a seasonal shake. And I'm realizing I'm sitting here, and that was the one thing, because I was just really worried about getting started on time. I was a couple of minutes late, somebody had come to the door, and I don't have the seasonal products out. So hang on, I'm gonna run and get those real quick. Where I need my sidekick. And I have somebody who's volunteered to be my sidekick. I'm so excited. We'll have so much fun. She was gonna do some song and dance, and she's like, that's why you need to have me on the show with you. So it was pretty funny. All right, are you ready for this? This is so incredible. We have so many great seasonal catalog gifts available. My two favorite are sitting in front of me, but then I picked a third favorite. And I picked two winners this week because we had so many people share and there were so many new people that shared. So what I'm doing is one person who shared on their wall is going to earn the seasonal bars, the s'mores bars, the seasonal s'mores bars. They are phenomenal. So the person who won the seasonal s'mores bars, oh my goodness. Okay, she's going to be so excited. Okay, it's Debbie Johnson East. Debbie, woohoo! You won the seasonal bar. So send me your address so we can do that. And the grand prize is the seasonal shake, okay? So the seasonal shake, we have two that have just come into season, and they are so gorgeous. Look at their packaging. Little holiday packaging, so cute. Love it. So we have chocolate mint, and we have pumpkin spice. And pumpkin spice, oh my gosh. So I made a seasonal shake for somebody who joined the team today, and she had the chocolate mint. Loved it. It's awesome. My personal seasonal favorite right now is the pumpkin spice. All right, so, and the person who won, are you ready? Drum roll. Okay, the person who won is Tiffany Bateman. Tiffany, woohoo! Tiffany has shared, I don't know how many videos. Tiffany, when you get on and you see this, then you see that you won. Just tell everybody how many times you shared. I'm so excited that you finally got it, that you won. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started cooking. And again, thanks everybody who've made comments. I kind of missed them as they were scrolling up, and you came on. So welcome, and let's go ahead and start cooking. Well, we're really not actually cooking because we're making salsa. So let me show you what we start off with. This is amazing. So what I did is I went ahead, this is a little time consuming, but take a look. I chopped up some beautiful, beautiful tomatoes, and I hand diced them, okay? That's one of the most important things, is hand dice your tomatoes. A lot of times people want to put it in the food processor. Not a great idea, because it just gets too mully, and you know, when you pick up your salsa, you want to have substantial piece on your chip, right? So you will see that's what we did. I actually have 2 containers full, and I still have a whole bunch of tomatoes over here. So we'll see what happens. I may cut up a few more once I left some room at the top so I could put all the other ingredients. Once you get the tomatoes in, and I will say, I think I started off with about 20, 25 tomatoes, and I maybe have 15 left at the most. So, tomatoes. The next thing you're going to want to have is you want to have crushed garlic. Now this is the one time when I don't roast my garlic. I want to have that little bit of a bite, because it's salsa and you really want to have all of these wonderful flavors. I actually add that next when I'm making the salsa, and I'm gonna just go ahead and add a whole bunch of garlic. Now let's talk about the garlic I choose. I love organic garlic, and I love organic garlic that comes out of California. Let's all do a really quick prayer for all the people in California. My heart and soul and thoughts are with you, and I've been texting back and forth with some team members that are out there, so praying that you're safe, and yeah, let's share some love for everybody. But California garlic, I love garlic that comes out of Canada. I just love what they do, how they make it, and I know what's going on. Those are the places that I purchase from, but this is an excellent organic. It comes out of Gilroy, California, and it is organic. So I'm going to use about 1.5 of these jars. I'm going to start with one. And we like things pretty garlicky. So to be honest with you, I'm just going to go ahead, put some juice in there, and I'm going to swish some water around just to get it all out. And I know, because we love garlic, we're going to use 1.5 jars. Now, some people don't like to have their salsa as garlicky and as hot. I had a question when I was doing the shopping, when we were come shop with me. Well, that looks like a lot of pepper, Laura. It might be too much pepper for me. So that's the beauty of this particular recipe. So I'm going to save just a little bit out of here that I'm going to actually put into the guacamole. So I'll just put that to the side. So that's the beauty of this particular recipe, because you can, in fact, there's just going to put just one more scoop of that over there. Okay. Let me get a bigger spoon. You can make it the way you love it. That's the beauty of this particular recipe, and really anything that I make. It's I had a couple of people who said that and I did go back and put the recipe in for the cheesecake, but I'm the kind of cook that you can have a general sense of a recipe, but your family's taste and desires. So you can put in more, you can put in less. If you like things hot and spicy like our family, you'll just be putting in a whole bunch of things. So what I like to do, and I'll show you my secret of how I know it's just enough, or if I feel like it's too much, I know I can take some out with some of the tomatoes that get clumped together. But I'm going to show you how this mixes up really well. And I'll know that in each bite, I will have garlic. And that's kind of the objective for me when I make salsa, is that every bite on the chip, you're going to have a little bit of every element in the chip. And that's really the basic rule of what I use when I make salsa. Anybody else have a special tip or anything? Feel free to make comments below, because that's always how we help one another in our community, providing love and support to one another. Oh, and I also got a few people, I had to delete some of the comments. Let's all just stay real positive, because we need to do that in helping each other. There were a couple of people who got a little frustrated with the talking, and I know there'll be a couple people who said, why didn't you have that stuff out there? It's okay. They're just saying what they feel, and it's okay. There's no judgment, and they're just trying to say, hey, that would be more helpful. Sometimes they could deliver the message a little differently, and you get defensive of me, but I'm really thick-skinned, and people don't mean to be mean. I really don't believe that. So they just, they just maybe had a rough day, and they're like, hey, get on with it. It's okay. I get that. I get that. So let's show you what I do. So if you take a look, so when you take one little scoop, you'll see that every tomato is kind of covered with garlic. Perfect. That's exactly what you want. All right, so the next thing that you're going to put in is you're going to dice up. Now this can actually happen in your food processor. I kind of save some time. I love to do jalapeno in the food processor because it gets it really fine and it's not going to be too chunky. So, because sometimes if you get a bite of chip and it's really a big piece, well, you might have somebody say, like they'll cough up and say, that's a little spicy. Or that was a big piece of jalapeno or a really strong jalapeno. So I take the seeds and all. I love it because the seeds make it hot, hot, hot. So I just chop the end of the jalapeno off and I cut them in thirds, put them in my food processor, and there you go. So take a look. It's nice and chopped. Beautiful, right? Well, we've saved so much time already. If you saw this the first time when we did this, I was chopping and dicing all in front of you and having a conversation, which we didn't need to do. So now this is going to be tricky. This is where you have to kind of know what you like. And what I would do is do a little, and then you always have it left over on the side. You can add more if it's not hot enough. So, well, I know how we like it, so I'm just going to keep on putting in because we like it spicy. And that should be really good. So I know that, again, when I mix this, it's going to have, there's going to be like a few bites of jalapeno. Now, because I am making two, and I have some house guests coming this weekend. My son actually comes in. I'm so excited. He comes in tomorrow. Too bad he wasn't here. He was kind of sad, bummed out. Sydney got to be on the show with us last week, which I miss my little girl. And she went home, and then he's coming on his fall break because he teaches special needs children in Simpsonville, or Shelby County. Sorry about that, Braxton, if you're watching. I got the wrong place, but in that area, Shelby County, and he's got just such a great group of people that he is working with, and such a great school. We got to see his school. It's so wonderful. Okay, this is really smelling so great. I wish you could smell it. So there's a nice bites there. Anyway, so I'm going to make one really hot and spicy and the other one after the show is over. I'll probably make it medium because we have a few people that might be over that too hot is too hot. So, all right, now the next one is onions that I'm adding. And again, I use the food processor because it really gets the onion finely chopped. I love using the food processor for salsa because it really cuts down on the time. So it's great. Anyway, he was so bummed, my son. He was so bummed. He was like, oh, I wish we could tape a show together. And I think what we could probably do is we might be able to go on the, Instant Pot. Instant Pot What Now is our new Facebook group that we're just getting started. And I think it doesn't have very much in it. My plan is to do a few, my plan was to do a few shows this week, but we have had a free membership week and it goes through Sunday in our nutrition. And I mean, guns blazing. I mean, we are enrolling left and right, having conversations with people, really talking about the system. So I didn't get through my plan, but you can find it. It's on Instant Pot What Now is the name of the page. And if any of you who are on the page want to go to it and copy the link, feel free to do that. We'll put it in the comments of this particular show as well. So I need just a little bit more onion because I can see it's not going to have a bite for each one. Oh, these onions, because I did them about a half an hour to 40 minutes ago, they are so, you know how onions can get nice and juicy. They're nice. They're adding so much juice. Wait till you see how it looks. I'll show you in just a second. Looks great. So far, we've had the tomatoes, we've got the garlic, we've got the jalapeno, and this is now the onion. So let me show you what it looks like. Look at all the juice that started out. If I tip it over, the juice might slip out. But it's really getting juicy. This is exactly what you want. So beautiful. All right, so the next ingredient is cilantro. All right, so what I did, again, I used the food processor. The only difficulty is with cilantro, if you use the food processor, one of the things you want to do before you load your cilantro in, and I'll just show you examples. See the stems? These stems are really, they have a big bite to them, and you don't want to have it all stemmy. At least in my family, we don't like to have the stems. They are flavorful, but they take away from, you know, having a stalk. You know, my husband says, I don't like to have stalks in my salsa, and I don't blame him. So, so you try to take as many of those out. You're going to have a few. It's just natural. But, so you're going to want to add your cilantro. Again, I always talk about using organic whenever possible. Organic is so much better for you. If you can get non-GMO grown products, that is even better. And some people ask me about that all of the time. There's a lot of controversy about GMOs, and this isn't going to be, you know, it is or isn't kind of a show, but I always like, why add a whole new dimension to endocrine disruptors and, you know, toxins in the body. So I'm pretty much of a believer. You know, if you can do organic, you're setting yourself up just for better success, and no GMOs, the better it is for you and better for your family. Can you just think about all of the things that are laden with processed everything and, you know, genetically modified? That's what GMO stands for. You know, if you can avoid it, it's really what you want to do. Okay, so I need to add just a smidgen more cilantro. Again, if you had smell-o-vision, and I know it'll be created, our phones are going to, you know, I don't know, our phones are going to be, technology is going to just be crazy awesome to see the next 10 years, right? So, yeah, this just smells amazing. Fabulous. Just smells absolutely incredible. All right. So the next thing that you're going to add is the limes. So the limes, I've gone ahead and cut up the limes, but because I like to squish the lime right into the into the bowl, I'm going to do this in front of you all. There wasn't any pre-work to be done other than cutting them. Because look, what you're going to see, this zest, I'm going to take the whole inside of this lime. Now what I did before I started working with them is I took the limes and I rolled them. I got them all juiced up. So if you just roll them on the counter, you'll get them juiced up. And so they're really, really, really soft. And what's great about it is, watch, I'll do one up on top. I need to put my glasses on because they are so juicy. I'm probably going to get squirted on, and I don't need it in my eyes. So I'm going to take my spoon, I just spear it right in the middle, and I'm going to turn it so that it releases. Just watch all that juice come out. It just releases all of the juice. So the other thing I like to do is I get all of the meat. So I take the meat out of the lime. It's so good when you do it this way. And a lot of people will say, oh, just add lime juice. No, not if you want a really good salsa. This is really, really incredible, this recipe. This recipe has been in our family, oh my gosh. I will have to say, let's see, Brad and I are married 30 years. So we have had this recipe for at least 27 years we've been making it. We originally got the recipe. We really didn't get the recipe from one of our favorite Mexican restaurants in Chicago, an authentic Mexican restaurant. It's called Larry's. And they kind of sort of gave us the recipe, but they didn't. But I figured out what was missing. And to this day, we have had this recipe. So you will love it. It's one of those people who have known me that I taught with for years. They're like, oh, Laura, that's the one thing you always would bring in. And we love the salsa. I would have the teachers over for, you know, my children's teachers over for, you know, meals or an end of the year school party for my volunteers in my classroom, the volunteer moms. And sometimes even our first grade teachers, we all have the same party together. But Mexican was one of those things we always served. So, again, how many limes are going to be dependent on two things. You want to know how juicy are the limes that are going in, how much juice are they making, to know what you want to, how many to put in. Sometimes you can get limes that just aren't really super juicy and meaty. If they're not, the meat isn't falling off the inside of the lime, well, then you know you're going to need to add a few more. And just with the, let's see, I've done just 2.5, but I got to show you how juicy these guys are. Just look. That is just incredible how much juice and meat is there. It's not quite enough at all. I will normally put in about 10 limes if they're super juicy and super meaty like these are. So we're only at, this is the third one. And this is really such a simple recipe, isn't it? It's so awesome. The only thing, we only have one more item that we're going to add, and it's going to be pink Himalayan sea salt. And yes, someone says, does it have to be pink? And does it have to be Himalayan sea salt? Well, if you want it to taste like how this does, you want to use that. In fact, that's all I actually cook with is pink Himalayan sea salt. It's all I use for homeopathic. It's a great tool to use when you're coaching people who are releasing toxins in their body and they get a headache. We put a couple crystals under our tongue and it's just amazing. It's so good for you. But I will tell you, these limes are incredible. They are just meaty and juicy and they're everything that they need to be. They're perfect. Which is good because they were not cheap this time of year. They're not, I don't know, the season just must not be the season. So I'm just gonna stir that around and I can see how much, oh yeah, I need to add just a few more because I can see in each bite, I like to have a little bit of that meat coming up in the tomatoes. And you can see it. This is a good thing I have my glasses on because that would be a hard thing to see. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 more. And then we're gonna add the last ingredient and then we'll be on to the guacamole. So great. That's incredible. All right, that should be it. There was no way to do that earlier. I guess I could have squished it out, but then we wouldn't have had the education about really how to stab the middle of the lime. So, okay, last ingredient is our pink Himalayan salt. And here you go. It just looks like that. I get the big tub from Costco. And so less is always more. I will tell you, one time I made this salsa and I put in way too much salt and it just took forever and several 20 tomatoes later to mix and mix and mix and keep chopping. So less is more. Always start with, what I do is like a tablespoon, but I don't put the whole thing in. I just cover the tomatoes up on top, right? Just one little teeny covering. And then I turn that in, fold it in, so it's down to the bottom. And I get the bottom tomatoes to come up to the top. This is just so yummy looking, unbelievable. And so tonight we're gonna make steak tacos because we have some leftover steak. And I'm going to make shrimp Diablo. And when I picked up the shrimp at Kyle's, they gave me some special peppers and Datal. Oh, you guys are gonna kill me because I'm saying it wrong. Daddle peppers. They gave me a couple of daddle. Well, actually, they said that the daddle peppers that they gave me are enough for a whole year. Now, I don't know if they know how spicy we like things, but caution is going to be my word, is what they said. Use them cautionary in your shrimp Diablo. And then they wanted to see if I was gonna actually make a video of the shrimp Diablo, and I'm not. But I'm gonna try the daddle peppers and see what happens with making it. We'll see. Okay, so the salsa's done. I mean, it's so simple. And oh my God, it tastes so great. So before you add anything, put it aside and let it sit just for like 15 minutes. Then take out your chips, taste it, and see what you're missing. You may say, oh, we need a little more salt, maybe we need a little bit more lime. You'll see how the flavors all gel together. But 15 minutes and put it aside. That's exactly what you're gonna wanna do. All right, so now it's time to make the guacamole. And I've already gone ahead and I've taken the avocado, I've cut them in half, and I've taken the seeds out and they're ready to go. Now, they're a little brown because they were sitting out just for a smidgen in the air, and that's what happens. I probably should have put some lime juice. In fact, I'm going to do that right this minute, just to take the brown. The brown, if you put lime juice on, it'll take the brown off. It protects them. Okay. Well, might as well core that one. Get that meat in there. So this recipe is so uber simple. Uber simple. It needs to have tomatoes. And, you know, because we just made this salsa super fresh, you could actually just scoop the salsa right into it. But because I went ahead, I'm just showing you the ingredients. So I took a whole tomato and chopped it up. And that's going in there. And I'm going to put some jalapeno. You want it, less is more on the avocado, on the guacamole. Unless you like your spicy. Okay. And so we have a little cilantro. It's all the ingredients from the salsa. I mean, it's just so easy. Except one ingredient that I need to pull. And it's just one more. But I'm going to put some onion in. And I haven't diced up the avocados for a reason. I'll show you that in just a second. Because some of you may be saying, well, what are you going to do about that? All right, so remember that garlic I saved? Just going to put it all in there. And this one, you do not want to use to get water out of it. But watch what I'm going to do. You know, because you don't want to have water. You want to have the flavors of the salsa. You don't want to have water in your avocado. So, but just to get those, that's good. I'm going to leave it just like that. And you're going to want to have some salt. Again, less is more. You can always add some. You don't want to have too much salt in your guacamole. All right, and the thing that we do is, let me show you what it looks like. Isn't that yummy? So I'm going to show you how we mash that up, and it just, it's so fresh. So the only thing I'm missing is chipotle pepper. Now, chipotle pepper is one of those smoky peppers. It is, it's so good. It's so delicious, but it does add a lot of smokiness and a lot of heat. So let me show you what it looks like. I have the crushed natural chipotle pepper. I use the non-GMO, right? And certified organic. All right, that's what I'm using. So we love it. We think this is like one of those ingredients that, well, there's a restaurant we have in Kentucky that we love. So the chipotle pepper is one of the things that I learned from them that makes this really so special. So if you don't have this and you make this one time without it, this is a brand new jar, so I need to take off the lid. It definitely makes a difference in your guacamole. It really is super awesome. So I'm gonna put my glasses on again, just so I see how much is being added. And I coat it just like I know I want to have one little pepper in each bite. So I'll show you. Again, you'll choose how much you want to add of each of these ingredients. It'll suit your family's needs. Okay, so, the smokiness that just popped out of that is so amazing. All right, so we're going to take this. Oh, I forgot to do one more line. Sorry about that. Really get that meat out so it adds to that flavor. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we got our potato masher. You can use any kind of a masher. A lot of people use forks. Forks work well. And you just want to crush down into each avocado, just so that when you take a bite, it just smashes, you know, you don't get whole pieces or chunks of your avocado. But to leave it chunky is kind of nice. In fact, sometimes I'll even save an extra avocado on the side, which I have over there, so that when I serve it, it just has just a few more diced chunks in it. Because sometimes when you put this in and chill it all up and stir it around, you know, it kind of gets, you know, smashed. And that's fine, but to have a few extra pieces that you can dice up, so smart. Okay, this is really looking so fresh. All right. Now, I know if you were on the Come Shop with me, I would have taught you a trick about avocados. So let me show you what this looks like. So beautiful. Okay. it's missing one ingredient, and I'll show it to you. But before I do, I don't want to forget about how do you know when you're at the store whether an avocado is ripe. So I actually have a different variety of ripeness in my hands, right? So you know that the darker ones, you can just see, and by the feel, they're squishy on the outside. So if I were to open this one up, and I will, I'll show it to you, you'll see that it's kind of going to have some brown and blackness. Well, how do you know? Well, take a look. If you look at that where the seed used to be, that the outside of it, this little piece right here. So if I remove this, and this one is just about perfectly ripe, but not quite. But if I remove it, which I'm going to do for you right now, you're going to see, and it's harder to see because that one was really deep, but you would see that it's not quite a bright green. Let me show you. This one is. All right, but it's so deep. It's really bright green on the inside. And it was they're so deep, I can't get to the brightness of it, darn it. This one you can see. See how bright green it is? That means it's perfectly ripe. Now, if the seeds have been missing, when you pick them up, you'll have to do the squish test and see. Now I'll show you, I'll open this one up and cut it, slice it for you so you can see, having removed it. See how beautiful that is? Perfectly ripe. And I can just pull that great stuff out. So I'm going to leave that. That'll be the one I dice up. All right, last ingredient that goes into our guacamole is a little bit of sour cream. And I'm going to just, again, I feel less is more, but some people like to have a lot of sour cream. And if you're having a big party, it's one way to make your guacamole spread, deeply. You can add a lot and, hide some spices in there, and you'll have a little bit more to work with. So I'm just going to mix this all together with a nice mixing spoon. Beautiful. Oh, it smells so great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this just to a smaller bowl because I don't have that much space in that refrigerator over there. And I'm going to let it set before I even taste it, because I want to have all of these great flavors just meld together. Oh, it smells heavenly. So great. And there you have it. I mean, it's so beautiful. And I'll show it to you. There you go. So that's how you do salsa and guacamole with my recipe. I'm going to let this set for 15 minutes. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. I'm going to take it out and I'll taste it, and I'll know exactly how I want to have it. I might add a little bit more extra spice or some salt. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. You might need a little extra jalapeno, but you'll be able to assess for yourself. Now, we don't serve our guacamole cold. We actually serve it at room temperature. But this is going to be, I don't know, depends on how many people we have for dinner tonight. I know we have one family coming. I'm not sure about all the others. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining the show. Remember, before you leave, make sure you say hello, who you are, where you're from. Share this on your wall so that you get entered to win. And remember that if you've missed any of the recipes that we've ever done in our history, you can go to my YouTube channel, and it's Lifestyle by Laura J. So go to YouTube, do the search engine, say Lifestyle by Laura J, no spaces, and you'll find all of the old history of all of the shows that we have done. And slowly and surely, we'll actually take them and put them into Instapot What Now, at least those that apply. So in the back, you can see my Instapots. What I have done, for the first time, I made some black beans, and I'm going to make my own refried beans. out of the Instant Pot. So they are ready to go, but that will be a different show. I'm not going to do that now. But I am excited about it because if it turns out like I think it's going to, you guys are going to love this recipe. So I have those. They're all ready to go. They've been unwarmed. I hope everyone has just a beautiful weekend. Please stay safe if you're out in California. My prayers and thoughts are with you. For everybody else in the world, just have a great weekend. Be safe. Love to everybody, and we'll see you next week. Remember, we do Come Shop With Me on Wednesday, and then Friday we are live at 4:30. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Have a great weekend. Whoops. I know I'm trying to say finish and it's not letting me finish. Thanks. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Linda. I can't wait for you all to make it too. I'm trying to get it to stop and I don't know, it must be stuck in the stuck mode. So hang on. It's nice to see your comments. Maybe my fingers are wet. Oh, this is funny. I've never had this happen before. Okay, Facebook family, I am so sorry. I'm trying to hit finish and it's not letting me finish. Hang on. Oh, that's so crazy. I hope it doesn't get stuck in this mode. Let's see. All of those features are not letting me do it. If you are still hanging on, if anybody's still on, just do some hearts so I can see what's going on. If maybe I'm not live and it's just not hitting the finish. Oh, yeah, I'm live still. Thank you. I'm trying to hit finish. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hit the home button and close the app. Okay. That's a good idea. Thank you. Hey, Jennifer. Thanks. Let me do that. Bye, everybody. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. All right, I'm hitting the home button. See you all later.